Hey guys, welcome back to our weekly PFA Breakthrough Success Show. Every single week, I get to interview some of our uprising and superstars in our company. And through our PFA opportunity, and many of our people's life have been changed for better. And today I am excited to have one of this millennial couple, rising star Amanda and Ron, to be on this special show. So thank you so much, Amanda and Ron, for being here today. And I know you guys are extremely busy, especially the holiday season. So thank you for making your time to be on this show and share your breakthrough stories to our audience here today. Why don't we go ahead and start with by sharing with the audience a little bit about your life and background before PFA.
Well, before PFA, I was actually a student full-time, and then I was actually working full-time as an ultrasound tech. So I was working in the morning, going to school at night.
Yeah, so for me, I was done with school already. I was actually working as a nurse full-time. A registered nurse, spent a lot of time in surgery actually. Working, the overtime hours that the nurses would kind of always work. It got to a point where I felt like I was working almost too much. And it kind of started to take away from, I guess, the life I wanted to live. And but yeah, I was a nurse. I was happy, but I always felt like there was more.
Okay, so since you guys being in the nursing industry for such a long time, how did you find PFA?
I actually found PFA through one of my high school friends. So I was actually really close to him. I lost contact with him, going to college. But one day he called me and he was like, Amanda, he's like, I need to share something with you. You'll like it. And I was like, you know what? Fine. Like, you called me 3 times already. Like, I have nothing to lose. Like, I'm in desperate need of a change. I said, I'm just going to hear you out. So that's how we found PFA.
I was actually, how we talk about it, I was actually the unsupportive partner. Yeah, that's new. I was at first I was the unsupportive partner it
took him about 3 or 4 months at an office visit and drilling the CFT. So I literally finished, like, it was just crazy. He kept telling me, like, you've never done this before. He's like, you've never done a business. He's like, you want to have a doctorate degree. And I was just like, I just have a good feeling about it.
Yeah, and then I went to the office, and when I started to see the people that she was around, it all made sense.
So since you mentioned about this couple thing, there are always 2 schools of thoughts that I hear from different people as a couple. And some people say, you know what, being a couple, working together is an amazing thing, it's a great thing. Then I have another school of thought from different couples and saying, it's difficult, a lot of conflicts. Yeah. And it seems like to me at the beginning, it started off pretty bad for both of you.
It was rough.
But what I wanted to know is that how did you work it out, eventually come together and able to focus on your main dream and able to collaborate and work as a couple. So kind of share with the audience a little bit about your challenges and most importantly, how did you guys come together at the end and able to make this thing work?
Yeah.
I think the main challenge was because Ron had already dipped his foot in business and it was my first time actually going into it. So he kind of thought he knew everything. So he wanted to take the reins and kind of be like, I've done this before, you haven't done it. This is how it should work. This is how it should be. Right. But at the end of the day, it's like being new to this. It's like I should be able to create my own experiences, go through my own trial and error. And I think in the very beginning, he just didn't see it that way. So he kind of was just like, just let me show you.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting because the two school of thoughts. What I figure from our own experiences at least is, I think people only get one school of thought because they don't stick through the adversity long enough to see that it can work itself out. We've always believed in, and I think what was really big for us is the mentorship in the company, seeing other couples do it and having other successful couples kind of lead the way and see that it's possible. And I think the biggest part that we've learned, especially from like mentors from you and Hermie, they say that your personal life, if that's not right, then it'll bleed right into your business. Yeah. And it made sense for both of us. So we had to understand that the closer that we became as a couple, this should be just as easy. And of course, it comes with adversity. Couples, we argue all the time, or not too much, not too much anymore. Yeah. But as we learned the business, I think the thing that's really glued us together was that I started to see that she could see what I could see. And I think that was, we talk about ego sometimes, and I definitely had a bigger ego, and I can really admit that at the beginning, and I learned to bring it down. She's smiling. I learned to bring it down, but because what I understood was she can have a big ego, I can have a big ego, but the ego that has to be the biggest is the team ego. Like, where do we want to go? And when we started to realize and just feel that we wanted the same things out of life, and that this company could give us that, it almost became natural to work together.
So now you guys are very clear on each other's position. What do you do? What do you not do? And you're very clear with that now.
Very.
Oh, it's great to hear your relationship actually improved because of PFA. Now, beside the relationship aspect of it, what other improvements did you guys have since you joined PFA?
I think for me, it was just my overall well-being, family, my health. And I also think like my ambition in life. Like PFA kind of opened the door for me and showed me something different. Showed me that there's more to life than just school, going to work, because I'm taking an example from my parents. And granted, they don't know any better. I mean, they only know what they know. So opening the door to PFA really showed me that like you really can make life what you want.
I just think, like she said, like a holistic view. Like, I have time with my family now. Like that was actually what helped me want to do PFA. I wanted to do something non-traditional because I didn't want to work 16 hours a day anymore. To make more money, to be more at the hospital, to have less time with her when being with her and my family was the main goal. And now I have my 40 hours back. And PFA is giving me that. So it's giving me the mindset, but also the time. Like, we just got back from the UK because she wanted to. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Because she wanted to.
Freedom to do what you want to do.
And I mean that with all the humility in the world, but it's this opportunity that's given us the chance. And that to me, I mean, and then the list can go on and on, but this interview might take like another hour.
I'm cool with that. As much time as you guys need.
Yeah.
So you guys are millennials, right? And in a very short amount of time, being with PFA, which is about 2 years you've been with our company, and you guys have achieved something pretty magnificent, and you made over 6 figures in the last 12 months. Now, what advice or advices would you have for other young entrepreneurs, millennials such as you guys?
Some advice I'd have for a millennial is figure out what it is what you want in your life, right? And find something that your heart will speak to. And the way to do that is just try everything. Try everything. Why say no until you find that one thing that feels right? And PFA for us felt right really, really fast. And I would just encourage millennials to just, because I had that feeling, or and I'm sure anybody that's watching this video might understand, that feeling when you go to sleep Sunday night, like, God, I gotta go to work tomorrow. Like, being in my 20s, why should I live that way every single Sunday night for the next 40 years of my life? And when I understood that wasn't a life I wanted to live for the next 40 years, change requires change. And it was just that decision to humble up, see what Amanda's doing, and it just all kind of worked itself out. But that's the advice I'd give. Just try. If you're not happy, make a change. It's almost that simple. And being a millennial, we have time. That's the one thing that we have that I think other generations don't have. It's time. And because we have that, it gives us the freedom to actually, you could try PFA for 3 years and it doesn't work out, and you still have the rest of your life to live. But 3 years giving your all can change your life significantly. Worst case scenario, you tried.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are some of your breakthrough moments, if there were any, since you joined PFA?
I think one breakthrough moment for me was being able to realize that I'm actually giving other millennials a chance to live the life they want. I have a lot of single moms on my team. Being able to give them the freedom to be home with their children, give them the proper care that they need, give them the proper attention that they need. That was one of my breakthroughs. My most recent breakthrough was one of our team members, we actually filed a claim for her. She broke her neck. And just her doing what we do, she saw so much value. So it really hit home for us.
Now, recently you had one of your leader made over 6-figure income. And let's talk about that a little bit.
Man.
I think there's a difference between you making 6 figures versus somebody on your team that you develop, you train, and make over six figure? How does that make you feel as a leader?
It's kind of indescribable. It's amazing just to see them hit all these milestones that we've actually endured ourselves. Like, we remember it how we felt, but having someone else hit those milestones, it's almost like a breath of fresh air. It's like saying like, wow, like we really gave someone our all and they have transformed their lives inside out.
So you guys talk about mentorship quite a lot, all right? What are you looking for from a mentor?
One thing that I've loved about PFA is that every time when I think I'm thinking big enough, I sit with somebody like you, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta think bigger. And then we talk again in a month, I gotta think bigger.
Yeah.
I think for me, the perfect mentor for me is somebody that can help my vision expand. We always talk about, as a leader, you should have a vision big enough to fit everybody else's vision. I always felt like my vision, or our vision, could fit a lot of our people's visions in it, or within ours. But a mentor should have a vision bigger than ours.
Now, so let's talk about some of your life goals, okay? What would you like to achieve through the amazing PFA opportunity?
Oh, that changes a lot.
It's changed
That
a
changed
lot
a lot,
recently.
yeah.
I mean, when I first started PFA, it was I wanted to help my parents. I wanted to retire my parents. And fortunately, I was able to retire my parents this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I took over their house mortgage. They don't have a house mortgage anymore. Parents are retiring early. So for me right now, to be honest, I'm searching.
Yeah.
I'm searching just because right now I know that I'm having this growing pain.
Now, how does your parents react to it when you took over their mortgage? I mean, from a daughter that's still very young, and most of the young people, they still live with their parents. and here you go, and here you come, and you're able to take over their mortgage. How do they react to that?
I feel like they were proud. I feel like they saw that they raised me to be very well-rounded. That whatever they did and how I capitalized on it, it worked. Okay. And for them, I think they're just excited. They're excited for their next 50, 60 years.
And any final messages to people in our company or outside of our company?
I think for me, it's just take everything with a grain of salt. Good, bad, just take it with a grain of salt. It'll be okay.
Yeah. For me, I mean, if somebody just asked for one piece of advice, I always tell people, people call us successful and it's great, but what I want people to really understand is happiness is the ultimate measure of success. Mm-hmm. Making more money doesn't make people necessarily happier. It can. It's a great tool to get there, but you have to be happy. Like, we enjoy the process of building business with PFA. We enjoy what this can bring. And because this makes us happy, we already feel successful. The income is a good perk though. But yeah, the final message is just find out what makes you happy. And always try to be a good person. You can get to the top by being a good person. It's possible. Yeah.
All right. Well, Amanda and Ron, there's no question in my mind that both of you will go very far with the company. And I'm extremely proud of both of you and your team. And I wish you guys continue to have the success you're having today, but more importantly, like you said, bringing a lot more of your people with you to the top. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your commitment to become great in our company. And at PFA, we're proud to have leaders like you in our company here. And thank you. I enjoyed the talk very much today, and I appreciate your time being with me today. And thank you so much again.
You.
All right. Thanks,
Jack. Appreciate it.
All right. Great.